That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat.
Yo, Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. All right, y'all. It is the home opener for the 2025 season for the Carolina Panthers. And it is against none other than the Dirty Turkeys down in Atlanta. Okay. And, no disrespect to the Falcons, but disrespect to the Falcons. Okay. All right, so the two games that we have had this season has been, to say the least, one hell of a roller coaster ride, and I mean one hell of a roller coaster ride. It's just straight, sadness and sorrow in the first game. The second game started off like that, and then lo and behold, the bells of freedom started ringing, and it was like, oh, we got a shot, and then it was down in the dumps again at the end. But it's been a crazy 2 weeks for Panthers fans, a really 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 crazy 2 weeks to say the least. Okay, but we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna talk about the Panthers versus the Falcons tomorrow in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. Okay. But let me bring to the stage my big cousin, the reason why I am up here, the couch scout extraordinaire himself. That is Brother Tony. What's up, cuz?
Yeah. What it is, what it ain't. Gonna keep everything in the paint. You heard me?
I hear you, cuz. I hear you. So how you feeling after 2 weeks?
I feel better after week two than I did week one. So even though we came away with the loss, I saw some promising things, especially in the second half. It seems like they can now well, it seems like Ivero took the word on the street as far as playing the young guys a little bit more, and we saw what the outcome was. So let's hope that that continues. That
Mm-hmm.
I know Pat Jones is out tomorrow, so Nick Scarton is supposed to get the start. He's going to get the bulk
Yeah.
of the attention on that side of the ball. So I just hope that we can build off of this, and it'll be even better if we can set the tone and establish ourselves going forward at home against the Funky Chickens. You heard, with all due disrespect.
Hey, cuz, let me ask you this. You think you
Yes,
think
sir.
Evero saw our podcast? Talking about how you need to step it up.
Hey, but no. Check this out. So you remember the um the thing that the Panthers do, um the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was episode one, episode two this year. They were talking about how they was potentially going to use their first pick. They was talking about up to pick eight. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you paid attention, but they put up in the background all the different podcasters that had something to say,
Mm-hmm.
talking about the draft and where they thought Carolina should go. Should it be offense, defense? And I thought that was just fun. I was like, okay, somebody somewhere be watching a podcast. Now
Uh-huh.
I didn't see us up there, you know what I'm saying? But that's not to say people don't be in the cut watching. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Hey, he is going to absolutely kill me for this next time I talk to him. But you know who was up there?
Doug.
Yeah, bro man from the fifth floor.
For,
When he see this, he is going to kill me.
oh
I
gosh.
I ain't gonna lie. I was watching like a reel, and it was like a compilation of bruh man's best clips. And I started looking. I was like, damn. I ain't gonna lie. I said, it remind me of Doug just a little bit. I
Hey,
ain't
all
said I
Doug
ain't said
had
he looked just like him, but he reminded me of him just a little bit.
Hey, all he had to do get that deep voice, dog.
Hey, what you
Yeah,
say? Bro, man, what you doing? And just
chilling.
chilling. Hey, my favorite one was where he was making the sandwiches at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he'd be like, Martin, what you doing up? I usually had the place to myself at this hour. Oh God, yo, Doug gonna kill me,
Yeah,
y'all. Y'all pray for me.
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Oh my goodness, hold on, let me get some comments first. T Green, what's going on with you? How you doing, man? It said Panthers should rise up on those Falcons tomorrow. I hope so. I hope so. Antonio McClanahan, what's going on with you? How you doing? How you doing? T Green said he chilling. Rock Jones, what's going on with you, big dog? How you doing? Rock said, "Good morning, Tone." Said, "Wherever
Good
are you,
morning,
wherever
Rock.
you are." I'm about to mess that up. He said, "Wherever you are." Josh
What's
P, what's
going on,
going
my
on
guy?
with you? What's going on? Cheryl Lynn Roseboro, how you doing? How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Cheryl.
B. Amos, what's up with you, big dog? T Green, yes sir. Keep pounding. That's right. B. Amos said, "Big Tone." Said, "Oh snap, Teddy Tone, boy." What's up, Clay? How you doing, big dog? What's going on with
What's
you?
going on, Clay? I ain't
Hey,
heard
God
from
bless
him
you
in a
too,
minute.
Clay. Vietnam said, "What's up, CJ and Tony?" Said, "Y'all guys got me
What's
rolling."
good?
Dig it. What's going on with you, big dog? Said, "Gently slide some action on that like and subscribe button, you slackers." Yes, thank you, Dig it. I
What's
appreciate
going on, Dig it? Miss you, my
it.
boy.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Okay, so I want to say this too. I want to say this too. I did the ticket giveaway over on my Patreon channel. Okay. And for those of you that don't know, I'm gonna put the link right here. All right, if you want to join. But the winner of the Patreon was none other than our very own Will Robinson. Okay, we call him Tip Drill Will. All right. So I
Tip
called Will
drill
to let
with.
him know, yeah, that he won the tickets. And he informed me, he said, CJ, he said, I appreciate it. He said, but I'm gonna let you take them tickets and bless somebody else with them. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, in a little bit, all right, in a little bit, I'm going to tell y'all how you can enter to win the tickets to tomorrow's game. Okay. And we'll get into that here in a little bit and I'll let everybody know. All right. But I just want to say thank you to my good buddy, Will Robinson, aka Tip Drill Will, for joining the Patreon, being a great member, and like I said, and blessing somebody else with the ticket. So appreciate you, Will. I thank you, thank
If
you,
I
thank you.
was, if I remember correctly, when I last time I spoke to Will, I think him and his wife they have season tickets. I think they down
Mm,
there in the club season in the silver box or something like that. He's silver
yeah.
club or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, but he was telling me he was like he said, you know what? He said just go ahead and and bless somebody else with the tickets. And I was like, you know what? I said I appreciate you. I said I got the perfect time and place to do
Already.
it. Yeah, but okay.
Already.
All right, cool beans. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. Oh, but first of all, before we get into the fantasy football here, let me do this. And hold on. And making true money. Making true money. Okay. Make sure you pay attention as your name is on there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Right there. There you go. Right there, making true money. Page one. Page one, right there in the middle. Hold
What's
on.
up, MTM?
Hey, but thank you to all the front office members. Okay. Again, and however you joined. All right. I thank you. If you joined yourself, if you were gifted a membership, I thank you for being a part of the front office. Okay. And as always, I
Uh,
just like I said, my appreciation, my thanks. Y'all don't know how far that 99 cent goes to helping me do what I enjoy doing here on this channel. So okay, I appreciate any and everybody. Like I said, I don't care how you became a member. Thank you for being a member. Okay, and everybody who has gifted a membership to somebody else, thank you as well. I greatly appreciate you. All right. So, okay, let's go on with it. Fancy football. All right. Your boy right here for the 910 is at the top, 2-0. All right. And so you see, I'm playing Low Country this week. You got FPFO Dylan playing Panthers Dog Stompers. Famous playing House Nicholas. All right. You got the BBL Giver. I still can't get over that damn name.
Boy, I thought you said something else. The house, you know what?
Oh, no, no.
Oh, oh my God. Oh my God.
Bruh. No, 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 no. That would be that would be criminal.
Ooh. Hey, I was logging off. I was logging off. Yes.
But BBL Gear was playing 1-on-1 in the Pound Town Power Rangers. Okay, none other than this crazy joker right here. Oh, my bad, T Green. I'm sorry. Nakari, Pound Town Power Rangers taking on Bryce's right. All right. Okay, so those are the standings over there on the right. Let me tell you, this is probably one of my better my better draft classes in the fantasy football league in quite a while. So I'm hoping that the trend will continue and I will keep going on the up and up here. All right, but good luck to everybody except for Low Country. If you're watching, I'm sorry. Good luck to everybody but you. Oh man. Let me see. They said, good to hear the velvet tones of Mr. Tony. Boy, not the velvet tones.
Hey, I
Oh,
appreciate that, Diggy. I don't even take that as no disrespect. I'll take that as a compliment.
oh, yeah, yeah. I'm with you, but that is funny. You know I'm gonna come up with something. Oh, I gotta come up with something now. You're not gonna be the Cat Sky Destroyer there no more. You're gonna be something with velvet in it. Oh
Oh
my
man.
God, yo, that is true. Said
Hey,
CJ.
but before you move on, hey Prime, hey man, I done sent you two messages on Twix and told you to hit me back up, but you didn't even do it. So, I responded to your comment, but you ain't check it out. All right there, Bishop Moon Pie.
Hey, he said Bishop Carpenter. Boy, let me tell you, these jokers right here is born, raised, and bred on the farm, dog. These is far from Carpenter. All right. Oh my goodness, yo, y'all are crazy. Let me see. Said two messages, bro. Two of them. Oh. I know you're
What you
talking
talking
about in
about?
the car. I'm sorry. He sent me a message in the fantasy football league. I saw it, and I ain't gonna lie, I saw it and I forgot about it. I'll look at it as soon as we get off of here. Prime said he was busy.
In the
I
car,
would like to
CJ
see.
told me, said he get back with you when he get back with you. He saw the messages. That's what he told me.
Oh God, I would like to see Roseboom settle down, stop overreacting, and tackle the ops. Facts, facts, facts. He's at work. He's almost some. No, no, you don't. He said I was just copying Tony. He said, I sent you a trade that you're not going to accept. I saw the trade and I was thinking, I ain't gonna lie, I was at work and I was thinking about a counter offer, and then I got called to do something, and I haven't thought about it since until you just said that. So I will take a look at it when we get off here. But I promise you, that's the God honest truth. I was looking at it, I started doing something else, and I forgot all about it. But yeah, I got you. So I'd like to see Nick Scott replace you in most of Panther days. Although I will say this. I will say this. All right. I know I give Nick Scott a hard time on this channel. He and I made a short and I put it in my film, my look at the tape film on Wednesday, about the touchdown that he gave up. But it was crazy when I kept looking at it, looking at it. Shaw Smith Wade looked like he had, outside leverage, like he was playing the inside, like he was expecting somebody to be there. And Nick Scott, kind of floated towards the middle of the field. It's almost like, he was McBride. Okay, Trey McBride. Roseboom had McBride pretty much locked up, but it was like Nick Scott was fading that same way over the top of Roseboom and Trey McBride. And then when my man hit his when he made his step, it was over. Whoever number 14 for Arizona, I forgot his name. I think it's Higgins or something. but when he made his
No,
step on his
Wilson.
route,
Last name Wilson.
Wilson. Okay, thank you. But yeah, when he made his step, yeah, that was a wrap. I mean, Kyler Murray launched that ball, and it was, yeah,
Well,
yeah, it,
the receiver did a good thing, and the only thing I hated about that play is how Shaw Smith Wade kind of bailed from the beginning. Like
yeah,
you're at the goal line, you should stay square to the goal line and make the receiver run through you. Now, even though the receiver was attacking his outside leverage, which was
mm-hmm,
good on him to get that skinny post of what he took, it was, in my opinion, it was not a good play on both of them because Nick Scott should have been more towards the left side, which would be his right side of the play. Because like you said, Roseboom had the tight end, covered. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So he didn't need help over the top. But
yeah,
the play design and the way the receiver came off the line of scrimmage, attacking Shaw Smith Way outside leverage and then hit him with the skinny post. I mean,
mm-hmm.
you know,
Hey,
it
all I
it
can say
was, yeah.
is,
But
shot.
you talking about Wilson, who's a 6'5" receiver on a 5'9", maybe 5'10" corner. That was a mismatch that they was looking for from the beginning. They got exactly what
Yeah,
they wanted.
I feel you. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. But and the crazy thing is, when I went back and looked at that play too, so him and Mike Jackson were both lined up like that. Mike Jackson was turned towards the middle of the field, but as soon as the ball snapped, he squared up. He turned back towards I forgot who was the receiver he was on. No, the running back. He was on the running back number 33. He turned back, squared up to him, but Smith Wade was still like he was done from the jump. Like I said, and the thing
Yeah,
that I saw on that, it was like it looked like he was expecting somebody to be on his inside, giving him help
right.
from the jump, you know,
Right.
and his
That's
help
why
was
I said
going the
Nick
other way.
Scott didn't. That's why I said Nick Scott didn't get over. Because if that
Hmm.
is the case, and it looks that way, because the way he was playing it, that safety should have drifted. Nick Scott should have drifted over, to his right and try to take
Hmm.
away that skinny post. He would have been in a better position, maybe not to intercept the ball, but at least get his hand on the ball and knock it down or something.
I feel you. I feel you. What's up, SC Panthers? Boy, how you doing? All right. Go ahead and move on. But yeah, but this is the Fantasy Football League. Your boy is on top for the moment. Okay. So I'll take the momentum while I got it. All right, injury report. Everybody's out with damn hamstring injury, except for Leggett. Leggett's questionable. Pat Jones is out. We all know Tershawn
Well, I
Wharton is
mean,
out. And
let,
hold
let,
on, let
let,
me
let
let me let
get
me hold on. We know we
let,
can't
let,
we gotta say
let, he
Anthony.
out too.
Yeah, look, we we we
He
we, we
out.
were told to we were told to call him Anthony. We were told to not to say his last name by a certain Power Rangers impersonator. Okay. So we were
Huh.
told to make sure that
Anthony.
we
Anthony.
Anthony.
Why is that?
That's his first name, Anthony.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Well,
were
he
we
the way he's played the past 2 weeks, he might as well say he's out too.
Now I will say this. I will say this. Now he did have a few balls last week that were kind of uncatchable. There was a one in the end zone. Now mind you, I will say this. Bryce probably threw it the only spot he could have on that play because it was somebody underneath. It was somebody trailing him. It was somebody coming from the left side as well. So he tried to put the ball up to where Xavier Leggett was the only one that could get it, but it was just a little bit too high. There was another one I pointed out in my film video where Bryce threw the ball in the dirt, 2 yards in front of him. There was
Yeah.
also another one where the ball got batted down. Now there were two. The one in the end zone, and it was one in the end zone, and there was a comeback route. Okay, both of them he was being guarded by Johnson, Will Johnson at the time. Will Johnson just made a damn good play on both of those. In the end zone, Will Johnson didn't even turn his head around. He saw when XL put his hands up like this, and he just stuck his left arm up there, and lo and behold, hit the ball incompletion. And on the comeback, I don't know if it was miscommunication between XL and Bryce, but or it was just damn good coverage by Johnson. But Johnson jumped up behind him and swatted the ball. So like I said, I think some of the smoke for XL is definitely deserved, but I think a lot of people you got to keep it in mind too. Everybody wants to say 8 targets, -2 yards. You got to factor in some of those targets that was just he couldn't catch. All right, but we'll I digress.
Hey,
We'll,
hey,
we'll go on.
that's because that's a topic that has so many different opinions. I mean,
Ain't it though?
I don't think it's right or wrong either way. It's just how
Hmm.
people see it, how people view it. But even if four of them were thrown in the dirt,
Hmm.
bad throws by Bryce or whatever, the one that you did have shouldn't have been for -2 yards. That's just my opinion. You 6'3", 230 pounds. There's no way you should be getting hit behind the line of scrimmage.
I got
I mean, Laviska Chenault ran better screens than that.
you.
Come on, man.
Not Lavisca.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got you. I got you. Hey, and real quick, hey, shout out to Miss Cheryl in Roseboro. Welcome to the front office. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Let's go ahead and get on with. So those are injuries. Again, not a whole lot, but some key players there, some key players that I wish were on the field, but we'll see how that goes. Okay. So everybody knows the story of the last meeting with the Panthers and the Falcons. Okay. It was all offense, no defense from the start. Okay. What was it? Two field goals, if I'm not mistaken. Two field goals back to back, and then it was touchdowns every single drive after that. Every single drive. Okay. I think the one thing that was in the Panthers' favor, well, two things actually. Well, no, let me say three. Bad defense by Atlanta. Okay, we did get the only turnover of the game, and we did get the coin toss for overtime. Okay, but like I said, the offense was cooking. The defense was outside, laid out in ditch somewhere. But that was per the course of last season. Okay, now, go through the things right here real quick. Bryce Young had 251 yards. He was 25-34 for 3 touchdowns. Michael Penix had 312 yards. He was 21-38, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Miles Sanders had 66 yards with 17 carries and a touchdown and a receiving touchdown too as well. Bijan Robinson was Bijan Robinson. That Joker had 170 yards, 28 carries, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Coker was our leading wide receiver with 62 yards on 7 receptions. Drake London went off 187 yards on 10 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Excuse me. Jadeveon Clowney had the only sack of the game. Tackles 10 apiece for Damani Richardson and Caden Ellis, the linebacker. The Falcons outpaces in total yards 537 to 425. Like I said, again, they had the one turnover. They had 6 more first downs than we did. We had 5 less penalties. They converted 2 more times on third. They were 9 of 14. We were 7 of 12. We were 1 of 1 on fourth down. They were 2 of 3. The red zone, okay, 5 of 6 for us, 4 or 5 for them. In the time of possession, we had the ball 2 minutes longer than they did. Okay. So, but a lot of big plays by the Falcons in that game as well, from Bijan Robinson and Penix and Drake London. Okay. But and I had to put the picture of Bryce, doing the touchdown celebration, Tommy Tremble back there, and the crazy thing, he threw his arms up. Tommy Tremble caught that ball, bobbled it a little bit, but then he brought it in. So, I was sitting there when I saw the replay, I was like, whew. But yeah. But Tone, you got any thoughts on this last game that we had with the Dirty Birds?
Nah, that I mean, well, the only thing I would say is that was the game that definitely sent Panther Nation into a different stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
with the outcome of that game, the production that was made by the offense, how everybody looked, how Bryce looked, how the receivers looked, like that's the type of game that everybody was hoping to see and we would like to see week in and week out. Now, are we going to score 44 points every week? No. But you do want to see the production. You do want to see the aggressiveness. You do want to see that we're able to move the chains, get first downs. Bryce out here completing passes, Chewy, grinding out, getting the yards, and the defense is trying to be as stout as possible. So I think that was the way that the year started off last year and the way that it ended, I think it ended on a great note. And that's what we were hoping would carry over into the beginning of this season. That first week it definitely didn't look that week. I mean, definitely didn't look that way. The
Mm-hmm.
first half of last week didn't look that way, but the second half is like we started getting it together. But then now you got to talk about the injuries on the offensive line that may or may not derail that progress when you're talking about losing Robert Hunt and Austin Corbett. I'm not so much big on the Austin Corbett
Yeah.
um loss because I prefer K Mays in there anyway. But
Mm-hmm. Me too.
yeah, hopefully, Chandler Savala can step in and do an admirable job because he's going to definitely get plenty of playing time.
Mm. You see, I'm looking up Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you said the one word I was not going to say today. Zavala. Man, let me tell you, I'm rooting for the kid. I'm rooting for the kid. But when I say Zavala, for me, hasn't really showed me much since we drafted him. I know he's been hurt a little bit too, but my thing is this, he got in late in the Arizona game. I mean, late. And from when I
Mhm.
noticed he was in, I'm like, he's out there. They snapping the ball. This dude is getting pushed backwards, 4 or 5 yards almost every damn play. And I'm just like, okay, and not that I can excuse it, but I can see the other guys. They've been out there the whole damn game. They've been running the hurry up for the last quarter, and some
Right.
change. Like Zavala, you fresh, dog. Like you fresh. Like you out there getting worked, and you been in the drive for one. You been in the game for one drive. But yeah, but we'll see. We'll see if he is starting. Hopefully, this week of practice, hopefully, is enough to make him go out there and compete. We'll see. I'll be there live to see it. Hopefully getting some good footage and some good angles to come back and share with y'all. Okay, but we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Already.
Yes, sir. Okay. So let's get to the keys to victory. Okay. And the first one, as always, will stay on here. All right. Stop the run. I will not take this off this whole season. Stop the run will always be the first thing on my keys to victory this season for the Panthers. Okay. And mind you, now last week, that was the case. The Panthers did stop the run. The Cardinals only got 82 total yards rushing. All right. And that's
Right.
even with the 30-yard run from Kyler Murray, who should have been sacked on the play. Christian Roseboom ran free straight to Kyler Murray, but did not slow down enough. Kyler Murray got past him, did his little run in place with like he's taking about 30 steps for every one of ours, and he ran, 30 yards down the field. Okay. I'm serious. I like Kyler Murray, but when he's running, it looks like he's taking about 4 or 5 steps for all the other players, like they're one stride. It's like Kyle's taking about 4 or 5 steps. But yeah, but I digress. That's
Yeah.
why I said that. Score early.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So score early and don't spot ATL points can kind of commingle with each other, because my thing is this: we have to get out of the gates. Okay, we have to get out of the gate strong. We have to put points on the board on offense. My thing is if Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson can get out there and they know like, okay, cool, we're scoring early, they're gonna rely on that run game, and they're just gonna keep on giving the ball off to Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and they're gonna wear this defense down. If the defense, doesn't put up an effort like they did last week, if they revert back to week one defense, we're gonna be in trouble. We're gonna be in some big trouble. Okay. But what
Yeah,
I'm
no doubt.
saying is, if the Panthers on offense can get out here, and it doesn't have to be a touchdown every single drive, but if you could put a few drives together in the first half, maybe we get 2 touchdowns and maybe we get 2 field goals, something like that. That's 20 points. Okay, we can't go into halftime again down 20-3 or 27-3. Okay, and that was what we were down. Week one was 20-3. I'm sorry, we were down 20-3 both weeks at halftime. My bad, both weeks. Okay, we can't continue to do that. All right, we can't. A field goal in the first half is not going to get it. Not going to get it. Okay, but
And
I
the
say that
card
if
that
go ahead.
that is an accurate description. My bad. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Bryce is Mighty Mouse and Kyler Speedy Gonzalez. Iba underlay underlay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, the car. That is a good
Oh
one.
god.
That is good. That's
I'm
hilarious. Okay.
I'm the fastest mouse in the world.
Oh my god. Yo, yeah, crazy. All right, and so I got on here also try to limit Bijan. Okay. I don't think we're going to stop him. All right. I don't think that'll be the case. Shoot, last year, in both games, they ran over 200 yards against us. In the first game, Algier had 105, Bijan had like 97. All right. In the last game,
Right.
which is the last game of last season, Bijan had 170. I think Algier had about maybe 50 or 60 or something like that. So I don't think we're going to be able to completely stop Bijan in the running game. But if the Panthers can limit them, okay, somehow, some way, I think that will be big. If we can if we can put the ball in Michael Penix's hands, more so than he has to turn around and hand the ball off, I think that would be better for our team, our defense. And not saying that, Michael Penix is trash or anything, but I would rather him have to go back there and beat us with his arm the entire game with the healthy J.C. Horn back there, with Derek Brown on the line. You know what I'm saying? And have to go out and beat us with his arm rather than being able to turn around and hand the ball off to Bijan Robinson and he's just running all over the place. Okay, like I said, I don't believe we're going to
Yeah.
be able to stop Bijan, but if we can limit him, okay, and that's what I said, if we can score early, all right, we can score early and put pressure on Atlanta's offense to come out there and try to have to catch up with us. Okay, meaning not just every play we turn off and hand the ball to Bijan and see where it go. Like, okay, hopefully we get them behind enough where they feel like, okay, well, bet we're gonna have to abandon this running game just a little bit and air the ball out, try to score some points to catch up. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. All right. Tackle. All right, that's self-explanatory. Tackle, just like Roseboom last week, had Kyler Murray in his sights, ran right past him. Kyler Murray got 30 yards. Okay, for the most part, they did good tackling last week, but they got to keep it up. All right. And my last one is get Bryce comfortable. Excuse me. And I say that because we all saw last week at the end of the game or near the end of the game when Canales got Bryce into the hurry up offense, he started moving the ball down the field. All right. And I know everybody is
Right.
like garbage time. Arizona went to prevent defense. He dinked and dunked all the way down the field. They were covering everything deep. Now, my response to that is, and I told somebody this last night, if I was Arizona's coach and the Panthers scored that first touchdown in the third quarter, oh, okay, cool. All right. They're going down. They score that second touchdown. I'm looking at my defensive coordinator and I'm like, hey, bro, like, don't give these guys no momentum. Okay. Because my thing is their defense has been playing good all game. Don't let them come back out here, stop our offense, and then you're still calling these same plays and they come down and score again, which is exactly what happened. Okay. So my thing, because everybody's like, garbage time this, garbage time that. But hey, the Panthers can't control that. All right. They had to go out there and do what they had to do with what was on the field by the Arizona defense. And I say that to say I'm hoping that somehow Canales can what's the word I'm looking for? That he could take this, well, take what happened last week and kind of replicate it into, a game plan for the Falcons. Okay. But also in that game plan, make sure he does some of the same things later that he did later on in the Arizona game, maybe off the jump to get Bryce comfortable. Okay. But the thing is, we got to get him comfortable early. We can't wait again until the third quarter. And then they're like, you know what? Yeah, let's try this. Okay. So, Tone, give me your thoughts on the keys to victory, sir. I'm gonna let you have the floor here for a minute.
Well, it ain't gonna be too long, but like you said, stop the run. That should be up there every week. That is the key to having success, any type of success in the National Football League. Get off to a fast start, meaning score early. Eliminate the early turnovers. That way you can be in the game whether he's up 3-0 or down 3-0, or you score a touchdown. Anything is better than a fumble, interception, or anything like that. Um, like you said, they're not going to just stop Bijan completely, but try to limit him as much as possible. I'm still a firm believer in if you stop the run, force them to beat you with the pass.
Okay.
That's my thing. Don't allow Bijan to just have a field day, running and passing, because he's going to get his in the passing game as well. Like you just spoke about, don't spot ATL points. You know, e- Eliminate the early turnovers. No pick
Mm-hmm.
sixes, no fumbles and scooping scores and stuff like that. Take care of the ball, protect the ball. There's nothing wrong with dinking and dunking, long as you're moving in chains. 4 yards each down. That means third down is a first down. So as long as we can
Okay.
do that, we controlling the clock. You know, hey, just play our brand of football. The tackling, yes, the tackling got better in week 2 than it was in week 1, but it definitely can be much better. Um, what else you got to get Bryce comfortable? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely get them comfortable. Like me and you talked about, CJ. I brought up when we was on the phone earlier this week. Start the game off and put them in the tempo. You know, and not necessarily hurry up, but a tempo based
Mm-hmm.
offense, because he works better when the tempo is going. That means no huddle. As soon as the play is over, he's already got a play in his head, calling it out at the line of scrimmage. They lining up, not giving the defense time to make substitutions. Making them speed up their communication, which may cause errors in the process. So those type of things um, are all beneficial to Carolina if they can do that. But definitely don't spot them points, eliminate the early turnovers, and stop the run.
Okay. I got you. I got you. Hey, and if y'all did not hear earlier, okay, shout out to Will Robinson here. Okay, Will Robinson won the tickets for over on the Patreon page, the ticket giveaway. But like I said, I called Will last night and he told me to go ahead and bless somebody else with the tickets. All right. So if y'all want a chance to win the tickets, just stay tuned here in a little bit and we will give the tickets away. Okay. But again, shout out to Mr. Will Robinson 843 there. As always, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. All right. So those are the keys to victory. Hopefully, when I see y'all again on Monday, I won't have to my next slide. Hopefully, my next slide won't be me withholding a can of gas and a torch and lighting that piano back on fire. Okay, so I'm hoping that at the very least I can still be standing there with the fire extinguisher, looking at the looking at the piano being put out. All right. Okay. Now, enemy spotlight. All right. So this one for me was pretty simple. Bijan and Michael Penix. Okay. And to be honest with you, I could have threw Tyler Algier up here as well because they have formed quite the duo against the Panthers. In the last, well, since they've been together as teammates, was the last 2 3 years. Um, but yeah, one of these guys for me has to have a bad game. Okay, both of these guys. It can't be like the last game where Bijan gets 170 and Michael Penix gets 300. Okay, I don't think
Right.
that the Panthers offense is at that, you know, stage. Well, I don't think, I know they're not at the stage right now, as they were, that point last season. And this is a totally different defense that the Falcons have. Not totally different, but they have definitely made some upgrades. They got Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. as their new edge rushers. They drafted Billy Bowman, who was Notre Dame, Xavier Watts, if I'm not mistaken, if I got that name right. So they have some playmakers. Their draft picks are out there, and the first 2 weeks of the season, they've
Yeah.
been out there doing their thing. Okay.
They rookies
You
are
saw,
balling.
yeah, and you really saw it. You really saw it in the Minnesota game, okay? Because they had JJ McCarthy looking, like he didn't know what the hell was going on, like at all. And I mean, and to the point where he's not even playing this week. Who's his backup? Is it Carson Wentz playing
Carson
for him this
Wentz,
week?
yeah.
Yeah, because he's got JJ got some kind of an injury, whatnot, but yeah, but it's not going to be that kind of score back and forth game, at least not from our offensive side. I don't believe. Okay. I think this is going to be a game where our defense is going to have to step up like they did last week, but the offense is going to have to be key for them to get going from the start. Okay. But when I say this, like I said, one of these two right here is going to have a very pedestrian game. Okay, both of these guys cannot get off on the Panthers tomorrow. If that happens, I think it's going to be a very long day at the bank. Okay, what you think, Tony?
Yeah. We like again, like we talked about I think it was yesterday. B. John Robinson is the focal point for the Falcons offense, and as he goes, so will the Falcons. And if you can
Hmm.
eliminate a weapon that Michael Penix had and force him to go other places with the ball, you giving yourself an opportunity. But at the same time, we have to be gap sound. We have to wrap up, tackle, be aggressive. The linebackers need to come downhill, fit the run gaps, in the run game, because we already know Atlanta's going to run the ball at us with whether it's Bijan in the game or Tyler Algier. I forgot who their third running back is, but they will run the rock down our throat if we let them. So hopefully tomorrow, right off the gate, I see more five, possibly 6 man pressures. Six man fronts. You know what I'm saying? To alleviate that run game.
Hmm.
So it's gonna be a battle. I don't think Michael Penix I don't think he was all that in that last game that we played against them. I mean, he had some good moments, but it's not like he just set the defense on fire to the point where we need to back up out of the our two deep shells and drop a safety in the box. Now we're playing single high safety. I don't think he's brought that type of game, or we are scared of his game that much when that we have to do that. But the number one thing is definitely stopping Bijan, and you're not going to do that with 4 man fronts all game. You just not.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, bruh man decided to wake up. Tone. They go our good buddy
Yeah,
Doug.
I
Doug,
see him.
how's it going on the fifth floor, Doug? How you doing this morning, big dog? I don't know if you saw the
Wait,
first part of this, Doug, but go back and watch it, man. You might be a little mad at me. Just call me later.
well, Doug is a hardworking man. Serving our country.
Uh huh.
Being an entrepreneur. He he showed me some new designs for the booty clap wave cap. That he has. So, I know he probably been up late nights, trying to put that together. I think he got another one coming out called Mrs. Cheeks, something like that he was telling me about. But hey, hey, hardworking man, Doug.
Yo, hey, doing stuff with CJ said y'all underestimating Penix for River. No, no, sir. No, I am not. No, 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 I am not. That is why he is up here on the enemy spotlight. I am not underestimating him at all. That's why I say that him or Bijan, one of them has to have a bad day. Okay, I prefer it to be. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I prefer it to be Bijan. Okay, I
Right.
think if we can limit Bijan, I think the Panthers defense can do something to kind of keep Michael Penix. I ain't gonna say contain, but if Michael Penix goes out there and throws for 280 yards and a touchdown or two, but just say Bijan Robinson has under 100 yards, I think that might be not might be, but that'll be better in our favor. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, but no, definitely not underestimating Michael Penix at all, at all. Let me see what
I'm laughing at Will.
the booty clap wait cap is nasty work. Yo, that is man. That is. All right, but
But yeah,
that
I'm
is
not,
the
I'm not underestimating. My bad, TJ.
no. Go ahead, dog. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm not underestimating Michael Penix at either. But I'm just saying though, everybody know that Bijan Robinson is the focal point of that offense.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Penix just hasn't gotten there yet. But just like with any offense, especially when they have one of the top three backs in the league right now, who's a bona fide, weapon out of the backfield, whether he's running the ball or receiving. You know what I'm saying? That's where your focal
Yeah.
point is going to be. Michael Penix just hasn't gotten to that point yet.
Okay. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. All right. Cool beans. Cool beans. Let me see. You just said Penix had 300 yards in the Bucks game, and y'all not better than the Bucks. Okay, like I said, but
Mhm.
again, we're not underestimating Penix now. We're not underestimating Penix. We just coming up.
Okay,
We formulating some
he
thoughts of game. Go ahead, Tom.
he had 300 yards in the Bucks game, but did they win? Or did they
Yeah, they
win?
they they did
Yeah.
not win.
Okay.
And that's kind
So
of what I was saying too. If Michael Penix goes out there and has a good game, that's cool. If we can not
yeah,
shut down, we can limit Bijan and still be able to come out with the win. I take
right.
that all day. Yeah, yeah, I'll
Because
take that.
listen, you got 4 quarters, and if you shut down the run game and they're passing the ball all over the field,
Hmm.
yeah, you can have 300 yards passing. Hell, you can almost have 400 yards passing. But that don't guarantee that you're winning the game or that you're going to win the game. Because at the end of the day, you got to put 6 up on that scoreboard to be successful. To be real successful, you need 6 points, not 400 yards.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, he said, LOL, touche. Y'all not the Bucks though. Trust me. Trust me. We know
Yeah,
that.
we know that.
We
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Trust me, we definitely know that. That is hilarious. But that's true. Yeah, we definitely not the Bucks. Let me see. Walker might be angry about the draft. I think he said that a while ago. But you
Yeah.
know what though? Now, mind you, I think it was. Now I don't know what happened with the visits, not visits, but like the pre-draft interviews, because I'm sure they talked to Jalen Walker and whatnot. I don't know what was
Hmm.
said or if the Panthers gave him a sense that they were really, really, really going to take him, or whatnot. But hold on. Walker is no Pierce is from Salisbury, right? James Pierce Jr.
They both from North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
he might be a little hot. He didn't
Yeah. They
come
they
back play at
they
home.
both they both from
Oh,
from North Carolina. But I
gotcha.
think with that, and this is just my opinion, I think that Canales and those guys wanted to go defense and was probably honing in on Jalen Walker or Michael Williams, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But I think Bryce came in and tipped the scale in his favor because of the relationship that him and Nalo had developed over the summer and was throwing together and stuff like that. And it was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, made public that he pretty much went in and pounded the table for T Mac. Now I was when the draft came around, I wanted Jalen Walker or Will Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
that's who I wanted, and I thought T Mac, in my opinion, was the third best receiver because I knew we was gonna get Travis Hunter, so I was hoping for Emeka Ibuka. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah.
That was my second receiver. That the receiver that I wanted over T Mac. But
Mm-hmm.
so far, T Mac is proving me wrong, and that he was as of 2 weeks, he looking like um the eighth overall pick was valid. But my whole point was my whole point to that may be true, and he may end up being wide receiver one and everything that everybody was hoping they was going to get with the number 8 pick. But what I was saying, it still stands. Look at our linebacker position, and we could have taken care of half of that if we would have had Jalen Walker. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Again, I think the thing with the linebacker spot was they were depending on Josie Jewell. Okay, and I said this before, and I
Right.
say it again. Um, um, Not a good look by the Panthers if they knew all of what he was dealing with this entire time. You know, when the off season started, through the free agency process, through the draft, and whatever. I'm hoping, I'm hoping they did not know about this the entire time and still decided that bringing in Christian Roseboom was the only thing that they were going to do, and then depending on
Right.
Trevin Wallace. Okay,
Right.
not a knock on Trevin Wallace, but Trevin Wallace was a third round pick. Okay, it's not like he was a first or second round pick. Okay, but if they knew about that the whole time and this is what they did, then this linebacker room is squarely on Dan Morgan and Evero's shoulders for how it looks right now. Okay,
Yeah.
um,
Yep.
I'm thinking that the Josie Jewell news was kind of like a surprise to them. Like I said, I don't know that for sure. Don't know that for sure. So we'll see.
Well,
But go ahead, Tom.
if he had been out, if he had been out since week 17 with the concussion, so they had to know about his condition and where it could possibly be in the future since week 17 because they stay on top of that. They stay in touch with the neurologists and the guys, doctors and the agents and things like that. So when you talk about 2 or 3 weeks from there and things still hasn't gotten better, now you talking about a month to 2 months and things still hasn't gotten better. Cause I'm pretty sure they was
Hmm.
getting reports, even though it was
Yeah.
the off season. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that's why I say I want to believe that they were attempting that their original choice would have been Jalen Walker. I just think that Bryce came in and pounded the table so hard for Nalo that that's who they drafted.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Cool beans. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the Panther spotlight. Okay. So for the Panther spotlight, I got Canales and I got Evero up here, and I got Flukes down at the bottom. Okay. And what I mean by that is what we saw at the end of the game on offense last week. Okay. Was that a fluke, or can Canales in this offense translate that into tomorrow? Okay. Same thing for the defense, and not just a part of the game. The defense played good the entire game. Okay. Now the Cardinals had that one touchdown drive after halftime, and they had one right before halftime. But like I said in the recap, the defense should have never been on the field in that position at the end of the half. Okay. One, I do believe that JT Sanders caught that ball. Okay. Because like I said, they only show one replay. They only showed one replay. They went to commercial, came back real quick. Yeah, the call was overturned. Even the rules analyst that they always ask their thoughts on the questions, he was real quick. Yeah, blah blah blah. The ball moved. Blah. Yeah, it was a good call, and then they went on about their business. I still think that was a good
Yeah,
call. I mean, a bad call. I think that was a catch. Okay, but and like I
yeah,
said in my film video, the play before that, that was the play that Bryce threw the ball down in the dirt. If he would have got, and the thing was, Bryce wasn't under enough pressure to be like, oh, okay, well, this is why he didn't throw it. He just didn't make the throw. If he'd have got that ball to XL might have been close to the first down. And even on the next play, if JT Sanders did not have to dive to catch the ball, if Bryce would have hit him in stride, JT Sanders would have got that first down plus about 5 or 6 more yards. Okay. And that may have kept Arizona's offense off the field. And then you think about this: when Carolina punted, Bryson Tremaine got held like a mug on that punt return right there as Dortch passed him, and nothing was called.
right.
Okay,
Yeah, I
now
remember
mind
that.
you,
I remember
yeah,
that.
now mind you, defense did give up the touchdown, but I stand on this: the defense should not have been in that position. Okay, in my heart of hearts, the defense gave up one touchdown, even though I know they gave up two. Okay, I know they gave up two, but that one before the half, they shouldn't even have been in that position. And that one, I put that one on Bryce. I definitely put that one on Bryce because he had two throws. All he had to do was throw the proper pass, and it would have been a different story. Okay, like I said, even if you give him the XL ball, whatever, that next one, you throw the ball up to JT Sanders where he can get his hands on it, catch it, and keep running. That was the first down. That might have been the one play that would have kept Arizona's offense off the field. Okay, so that's my thought on that. But but like I said, the defense played good, the entire game. And the reason why I got flukes on here is for the defense as well. Can we see this back-to-back games? Okay. Was last week just the aberration? It was, all the moons and the stars lined up, at the same point. Everybody was drinking the Modelo or something at the same time. I don't know.
Not
You
the
know what I mean?
Modelo.
Yeah, everybody drinking Modelo at the same time. Maybe Tangeray came back in style for I don't know something. You know what I mean? Whatever it was. Um,
Yeah.
can we see this 2 games in a row, especially from the defense? I think we can see it from the offense, but and tell me if I'm wrong, Tony. I think Canales is stubborn. It's like he's got this game plan. It's like, okay, I'm going to stick to my game plan until it absolutely kicks me in the face and says, "What the fuck are you doing?" That's what it seems like to me. But my thing is like, you got your game plan. Your game plan has not worked for, let me see, 4, 5, 6 and some change quarters. Okay, it absolutely
What
has
what
not worked on offense. Go ahead, Tom.
what Canellis needs to do, in my opinion, is he needs to come out the first quarter like he did in the third quarter last week. Like I said, they need to run more up tempo stuff, not start off slow, not trying to not your first 10 to 15 scripted plays and you're trying to get a feel and see what the defense does. That's not going to work. Don't sit back and see what they're doing. Dictate to them what you want them to do based off of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
even when he was in Tampa, he was notoriously known. I'm not gonna say notoriously known, but that first year his Tampa was his first year as offensive coordinator, and they talked about how slow the offense started out. Um, in Tampa, especially with the run game. But then once the run game got going, then you saw better production all around, not only offensively but defensively as well. And I think that's how they I think they started off the season like 1-6, 1-7, something like that. But they
Mm,
finished the year like 9-8 and made it to the playoffs. Okay, but that's in Tampa. That works in Tampa. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Especially um the way things are going right now. We don't want to see that right now. So I just
mm-hmm.
think what they did in the second half last week, they should continue and use that in the first half of this game to hopefully get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Hey, 336, man. Let me tell you. I don't know why Tangeray popped up in my head like that, but yeah.
Somebody said we should trade for Kirk Cousins. Wow.
And no, absolutely not. What up,
Wow.
AT alien? How you doing? He said 7 sacks incoming. Man, no. Mm-mm. No,
Definitely not.
I ain't gonna put that on the Panthers. Mm-mm. Let me tell you, if we can get shit, if we can get another game with a sack, you know, I hate to say it, like, you know, the expectations are so low, but I mean, we didn't have any sacks in the first game. We had the one sack against Kyler Murray last week. That was our first and only sack of the season. The first and only one. So I'm hoping that'll get better. I am, because like I said, they've got to do something with Penix. They can't let that man sit back there and just pick the defense apart, you know, like he did the last game. Now, albeit, you know, there's a lot of people that played on that defense in the last game for us that are not even on the team anymore. You know, we were, like I keep saying, we were out there with Publix employees, you know, who got a call and ran down to the stadium and put the pads on and went to play down in Atlanta that week. But yeah. Let me see. Nicholas Berry, what's going on? Only chance is to oh, that's the one. Trade for Kirk Cousins. I got you. I got you. Rod Jones said another loss at home, especially versus the Falcons. They will hear the boos. Then Canals will be in the hot seat. Let me tell you, Canals is, in my opinion, he's already in the hot seat. Okay. And like I said, and that's just my opinion. He's already these two right here. Yeah. Evero has been in the hot seat for like 2 years. Um, you know, but Canales, if he's not in the hot seat, that Joker is warm. It is warm. And if we go out and have a bad showing against the Falcons tomorrow, yeah, let me tell you, yeah, the temperature would definitely be where he can feel it. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Goodness,
We not losing no sorry Falcons. What's going on, Aries? How you doing? Said, did you guys hear how Canales said he takes Excel's success personally? Interesting how he never said stuff like that about Bryce. Instead, he and Bryce have been taking subliminal shots at each other. Hmm. I
Hmm.
did not hear that. I did not hear that.
I
Hmm.
well, you
Hey,
know
that's
what
interesting.
what's funny about that? Not funny about what Claire said, but when I think back to Bryce interviews, yo, that is one dude that I hate listening to when he's up before the press, when he's standing before the reporters. It is beyond nerve wracking to me to try to make out what he's saying, all the ahs, constantly repeating what he's saying, like he can't form a sentence or anything like that. It's like it's horrible listening to him talk about anything. So, hey, Claire, if you got something out of that, a subliminal message, hats off to you, my girl. Because
You know,
for the life of me, I don't know how anybody do that.
yeah. But and the crazy thing is, you know, you right, Tony. It is frustrating listening to Bryce up there talk at the podium. But at the same time, you can tell that he is extremely frustrated. Okay, you saw it against
Yeah, yeah.
in the Jacksonville game. Okay, you saw it in the Arizona game where it looked like he turned around and told Austin Corbett, like, if you don't get your big ass up there and block that next guy on this stunt, I'm gonna kick you in your damn knee. You know, which, and I'm, you know, that might be, let me not say like, because his knee did get hurt. You know, I'm sorry, my bad. You know, maybe it's like, you know, if you don't get your ass out there and block, I'm gonna kick you in the arm or something. You know what I mean? And then, you know, Dave Canals kind of went over there looking like, well, y'all good. and Bryce looking like, yeah, man, leave us alone. We got this, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's Dave is the ultimate like positive personality person. You know what I mean? Um, and let me tell you, as much as you hate hearing Bryce talk, I hate hearing Dave Canales say fundamentals, 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 fundamentals. Like, dude, it's week 3. Why are you still preaching fundamentals? Fundamentals should be firmly implanted in these guys' brains, and they should be executing the fundamentals. If you keep having these guys out there that can't do the fundamentals, they need to be on the bench, and you bring somebody else in and see if they can do the fundamentals. That's what irks me about Canales the most. I have not heard the word fundamentals so much as I've heard this season from him. But like I think Josh said a while back in the comments here that training camp, you know training camp and the preseason reps, like something did not correlate. Something did not add up. But we'll see. We'll see. Hold on, let me go
We'll
back and
see.
catch up on some comments. I don't think Canals in the hot seat. I think Tepper will let Dave draft his QB before he fires him. Now I can see that. I can see that because if and I still think his seat is warm. Okay, but if Dave and Dave have had this conversation, and he's like, hey, this is what I got now. We're going to work with this. But if this doesn't work out, let me draft a quarterback or bring in a quarterback and then see what he can do. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. I hope Bryce does work out. I really do. I really do. But we've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, the allotted time on this particular, I ain't gonna say experiment, but this particular experiment is definitely coming to a close. Okay. Like, it has to be
Yeah.
results now this year. Like, we cannot have another mediocre subpar season and just throw Bryce out there next year with the whole, oh, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. Like, no, like I'm rooting for the kid. I'm pulling for him. But we gotta be real with it too. Like, if he's not getting it done by this year, I mean, like I said, we took him number 1, we traded up, we traded DJ Moore, we traded draft picks. You know, we've got to see something. For all that we gave up, we got to see something. I'm still rooting for him, but at the same time, like Palmetto Panther said, that he might be right. He might be right. Maybe Canales says, if Bryce doesn't work out, maybe Tepper gives Canales a chance to go out there and get the quarterback that he wants. And that's not the first time I've heard that. Okay, so that might be the case. Definitely might be the case. He said, yeah, Evero's definitely on the hot seat. Yeah, said Brad Isaac is on the hot seat. I ain't gonna say is it, because Canales is the one calling the plays. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
mean, but
that
he
is
is
true.
getting he said he is getting the information, from Isaac. Isaac he's not up in the booth. He's on the sidelines with Canales. So it's not like he's up there looking down on the field, seeing this and that and the third. Let me see. Miss
Right.
Douglas said, I think Bryce seat is hotter than Canales. If anyone gets the boot, it'll be Evero, who is not his DC, or Bryce, who's not his quarterback. I can see that as well. I can definitely see that as well. Vietnam says,
Definitely a
nah,
lot of
Canales is
possibilities.
yeah, too many, way too many. Now, Canales is safe because he didn't ask for a limited QB with a noodle arm. Evero, on the other hand, seat is made of the jagged rocks of hell itself. God, not the jagged rocks of hell itself. That is crazy. Let me see. CJ said yesterday he said he trusts Lil Bryce. I mean, but what's he gonna say, man? He ain't gonna say nothing but that. You know what I mean? Bryce talks in circles. Yeah, he really does. He really, really, really does. Like Tony said, it's the ums and yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
can't even lie. That's why I don't really put a whole lot of clips of Bryce up there talking on the podium, because it's just like, you know, I asked my boss's boss a question about something, and I said, just give me a yes or a no, on my question.
Right.
When I say, he gave me the most polite no that he could have given me without saying the word no. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because my thing is this: you're not gonna hurt my feelings if I ask you a question, you say no. Okay, because it is what it is. Especially if I'm like, just tell me yes or no. It's not gonna be a thing with it. I got a whole message about that long on my phone describing this, that, and the third, and I just reply. I said, okay, thanks. I said that was the most polite no I have ever got in my in my life.
Hey,
But yeah, man.
I like what Commander 336 said. He said, CJ, is it funny that when things are going well, Bryce speaks clearly? That is facts.
That's the
That is
truth.
fact. That
That's the
is
truth.
the honest to goodness truth right there.
Yeah, you right. You right. 336. You are absolutely right. But and I mean everybody's wired different. Everybody's wired different. There are a lot of people in this world who can get up there, rain or shine, good or bad, and can talk the exact same way no matter what. Okay, you can't tell if they happy, they sad, any of that stuff. Yeah, Bryce is not one of those. He is not one of those. You can tell when he is frustrated, but also you can tell, like I said, when we're doing good and he gets a win, it's a whole different person. It's a whole different person on the point. But yeah, you're absolutely right. 336, absolutely right. Now, hold on, I wanted to get back. Let me see. Will said the report asked Canales about his confidence in Bryce. He said it was super high. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mary said, listen to his Canales. He said 2 times that it's the turnovers as what has set them back. Bryce Young said any play that's called is the best play call in the world. Very passive aggressive. Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. Well, I mean, Canales is not wrong. Okay. The turnovers have definitely set us back in the first 2 games this season. And, with Bryce, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I can see I have frustration with some of these play calls sitting in my office watching the game on my TV. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us do. I could imagine Bryce would have some frustration with that, as well. But he still got to get out there and execute the plays, though. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because at the end of the day, execution is key.
Hmm.
If you execute the play 100% or 95% of what it's supposed to be,
Hmm.
nine times out of 10, you're going to get some type of success. Like we can say, there's a lot of things wrong with the schemes and the coaches not putting the players in positions to make plays offensively or defensively. But at the same time, at the end of the day, there's 11 men on offense, 11 men on defense. Do your one of 11. Do your one of 11.
Yeah.
Do your job. You know what I'm saying? Trust in the man to the left and to the right of you. Trust that your brother is going to do his part. And so you don't have to worry about it. And you could just go out there and do your part. Because a lot of the times, some of the times I say it's mainly the play calling and things like that. But a lot of times there are things that are out of coaches' control. Like coaches can't go out there and catch a ball. Coaches
Hmm.
can't go out there and make a tackle. You know, coaches can't go out there and stop from being pushed out of your gap. On a run play, or you not running downhill and filling the lane on defense on a run play, or you playing the wrong type of technique. And getting burnt by a wide receiver or a tight end. Like those things, that's not all on the coach. That's on your
Hmm.
players. You know, the players
Hmm.
control a lot of what happens on the field.
Okay, I got you. Hey, 3 and D here. He says, Falcons fan here. I hope Bryce works out, but let me ask you this: since he came into the league, how many OCs and QB coaches has he had? Oh God, in
A lot.
2023, the offensive coordinator was oh goodness, who was it? Oh, uh,
Was it? Did he? No, he didn't have Brady. He had. Frank Wright. Frank Wright. 'Cause Frank Wright.
That's right.
Yeah, he
I'm
had
trying.
Frank
I'm
Wright.
trying to think of
Frank.
who the.
Um. Brown. Thomas Brown.
Oh, that's right, Thomas Brown. Well,
Thomas Brown.
who was the QB coach that was with him at the pro day? The quarterback, with the hair.
Josh McCown.
Josh
Josh
McCown.
McCown.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's had a couple. Now mind you, he's had Izzik and Canales for the past 2 seasons. Well, last season and this season, and then he had different staff with um Frank Wright, and then Thomas Brown took over the play calling then. So let me see. So that would be like one, two, so three. So three offensive coordinators. Three. Yep. Okay. But
Yeah. Somebody
but
said,
still.
"Oh,
Mm,
that's a
go ahead.
super chat." Never mind. No, it's a
Oh,
super chat.
okay.
You do it. That's your thing.
Okay. In my humble opinion, thank you for the $2 super chat. Said, why does Bryce never get any blame? Well, you obviously don't watch the channel that much. Bryce has been getting blame, this entire season.
Yeah.
But my thing is this though. My thing is this. I am not the person who will sit here and blame Bryce for every single thing that goes on the field. When he needs the smoke, he's going to catch the smoke. Okay. I don't
Right.
blame him for every single thing. If the defense goes out there and gives up a 90-yard run, on the first play of the game, I'm not that person that's going to be like, well, you know what? If we had a different quarterback, the defense wouldn't do that, because that's where a lot of people are. You know what I mean? Bryce definitely gets blamed for what he does. All right. But I appreciate the super chat, in my humble opinion. And let me see. Said, in my humble opinion, thank you for another $2 super chat. Do you think Bryce is good? Well, I think that's yet to be determined. I think he has it in him, but he has to show it. You get what I'm saying? He's got to show it. And just like I said earlier, if that doesn't happen by the end of this season, I think it's probably time for the Panthers to move on. Like I always say, I am rooting for him. Okay, I'm not rooting for him to go out there and fail. I'm rooting for him to go out there and be the number one pick and give us value for everything that we traded to get him. Okay, but right now he's not playing like a good quarterback. I will say this: he's not playing that way right now in the totality of everything that's going on. He was playing that way at the end of last year. He was getting there. I won't say that he was, he was oh so great, and it's like, all right, cool. I was hoping that this year would take off from last year and he continued to improve, and get to a point. Okay. But I do think he can be, but what if he is, that's what needs to be decided. Okay. But yeah, right now he's
Mhm.
not playing his best. He's not playing his best. Now, mind you, we did see a flash of it at the end of last week. But if I say that, everybody's gonna be like, oh, okay. Well, it was garbage time. The Cardinals were playing in prevent this, that, and the third. And like I said earlier, I don't care if me and Tony was out there playing defense. At them, and if you gotta go out there and do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Like I said, that's on Arizona's
Facts.
coach. I would look at their coach and be like, bruh, so why don't you look down the sideline here, the defensive coordinator, and tell him to get his shit together, because they done scored one touchdown, they coming down the field to score another one. Like what's going on? Okay. But yeah, but thank you for the super chats and for your last comments. But yeah, Bryce, he does have a lot of blame. He does have a lot of blame. Okay. Let me see. Thank you for another $2 super chat. He said 6-24. Where's the hope? Well, I mean, hey, it's what it is. It's what it is. I've seen flashes of Bryce out there being a good quarterback. Okay. I've seen flashes of it. All right. And I think for everybody who said that he has been completely trash his entire career, you know what? Just go ahead and say you know that you don't like him. And in my humble opinion, I know you don't like him. I know you don't. I've seen you on other podcasts. I know you don't like him. I honestly I know. Okay. But from my opinion, I have seen flashes of Bryce being a good quarterback. Okay. So I know he can do it. But whether he puts it all together and does it consistently is another story. Okay. That's another story that has yet to be written. But again, if that story is not on paper and signed, sealed, and delivered by the end of this season, I do think the Panthers should move on. Okay, or they're
Mhm.
consider their options. Put it like that. Hey, but I appreciate you for the super chat, man. Thank you very much. Let me see. Um, my only thing is, CJ, if we're in year 3 and still asking for him to be good consistently, then is he really the guy? He's consistent at one thing, and that's being inconsistent. That's my issue. You know what? I can't
That's
disagree
a good
with you, Claire.
point.
I can't disagree with you. I cannot disagree with you at all. At all. Everything you said in there is absolutely true. Absolutely true. I feel you on that one. Yeah. But and it's frustrating. You know, it really is frustrating. Like you said, like I said, at times, you see it and it's like, okay, cool. Well, he gets it. And it's like then he won't get it the next week. You know what I mean? And yeah. I mean, I know people out there, bisexual and this and that and the third. I'm sorry. I'm going to root for my team's quarterback. Just like as much as I get up here and talk junk about Nick Scott, every time the game comes on, if he's on the field, I'm rooting for him to do good. I'm not rooting for him to do bad. Okay, I'm not. It's the same
Right.
thing with Bryce. Bryce
Right.
is out there. I'm pulling for him to do good because he's a Carolina Panther. All right. I'm rooting for the Carolina Panthers. I had people this week tell me that I'm just a Bryce fan and not a Panthers fan. I had somebody tell me that, just go ahead and say you hate the kid because of a couple of reels I put on TikTok. While I was talking about what Bryce did wrong in certain plays in the game last week in Arizona. So but yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. But I agree with you, Claire. I agree with you everything on that one. Yeah, he is inconsistent, and that is the most frustrating thing about him. Yeah, I feel you. Okay. Pyro Master, what's going on? So y'all put a lot of hate towards Bryce when his pass catchers literally can't do their job. Well, okay. And
Who is y'all?
I don't know. I don't know. But
Okay.
my thing is this, Pyro. Okay, and that's why I say when Bryce puts a perfect pass out there or he puts a catchable ball out there and the receiver doesn't catch it, then we'll talk about the receiver. Okay. And just like I was saying, when Bryce threw the ball to Excel, he threw it in the dirt. And like when I went back and reviewed that play, there was no reason for Bryce to throw that ball in the dirt. He did not have enough pressure on him where he couldn't have got that pass up to Excel to give him a chance to catch it and run. And that's what me and Tony been preaching this the entire time. You know what I mean? When Bryce is playing bad, he's playing bad. Okay. But my thing is, you can't sit here and say that um everything is Bryce's fault. Okay. But just like last week with the fumble. Now, mind you, the fumble was Bryce's fault. Okay. But he probably wouldn't have been in that position had the damn offensive line blocked the Cardinals rushes on that play. And I know that was a good play call by Arizona. They did the stunt.
Mhm.
Josh Sweat came around, and he got the Bryce. Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle is not a good pass blocker. Okay. He got worked on that play, and then he also got worked on the interception play, as well. All right. So you go back to the interception play. Now, mind you, and I said this, I think Bryce held on to the ball a little too long. He stared down T Mac, and everybody was like, well, he only got 2 seconds to throw the ball. How is he supposed to do anything? My thing was he got a little bit more than 2 seconds, and he was drifting away from the pressure. So he saw the pressure coming at him. T Mac was covered by Will Johnson. At that moment, it's like, okay, cool. Tuck the ball and take the sack. You know what I mean? But instead, he
Yeah.
tried to fling the ball and it ended up getting intercepted. All right. And like I said, if y'all want to go back and take a look at that video, I put it out on Wednesday. It's called Let's Look at the Tape. All right. My thing is, when Bryce has his issues, he has his issues, and we'll say he has his issues. But at the same time, Bryce is not responsible for every single thing that is wrong with this team. I know he's our quarterback. It's every offensive play starts and goes with him. Okay, and I keep hearing about how Bryce is not on the field too long, defense is on the field too much. My thing is this: it's not Bryce's fault when the damn defense goes out there in the first 2 drives of the game, and I'm talking about like more so last year for the most part. Because in the Saints game last year, Saints got the ball first, went straight down the field with Derek Brown and everybody in there, Kamara and Derek Carr just walked them straight down the field, touchdown, and it was on from there. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that it's not a factor in the games where the Panthers offense doesn't stay on the field long enough and the defense is playing more. You know what I mean? And the defense may
Right.
be tired. I'm not saying that that's not an issue because I know it is. But at the same time, when you come out there and you start a game and the defense is getting worked from the jump, you know, like come on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But all right, but my little rant is over. My little rant is over. But but let's get back to the Panther spotlight and then wrap it up real quick. Um but flukes, I'm hoping that what we saw last week from Canales, his play calling in that third quarter, late third quarter and fourth quarter, I'm hoping it's something that we can see again this week. And I'm hoping that the performance of the defense from last week as a whole, I mean from start to finish, I think they did good the entire game. Okay. If you want to say they gave up 2 touchdowns. All right, two touchdowns and a field goal. Okay, I think they did damn good. The offense just went out there and pissed the bed in the first half. You know what I mean? And then they waited too
Yeah.
late to get things going. All right, but hopefully, offensively and defensively, we can see this same thing that we saw last week. We can see it tomorrow. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Panther said, "Hey CJ, your tape reviews are dope. Hey, appreciate it, man. Let me tell you, I'm learning. I'm definitely learning. That's something I've always been wanting to do. Getting my big cuz here to help me out with some stuff on that as well. But I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Let me see. Hold on. Mira says, oh, he's talking to Eternal. Okay. Oh, he must be talking about Okay, I'm sorry. I missed that. Pyro says, I understand Bryce has things he needs to fix, but when he actually does his job and his pass catches fail him and throws off his rhythm, I see the fault on the whole team. Yeah, yeah. We agree. Yeah, I got you.
Like
I agree
like
with you.
there's enough blame to go around for
Mm-hmm.
everybody. It's not like if Bryce was not to mess up, like he got
Mm-hmm.
all these all pro talents around him that just waiting on him to get his stuff together. No, like the offense is going to go as Bryce goes. So it's not them waiting on him, to catch up to them. They all need to come up together. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
but it is based on him playing much better. And like I said, those first 2 weeks, those early turnovers, you just can't do it. There's just no
Nope.
way around it. Like we can point out where the breakdown was in the line of scrimmage on some of those rushes and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's Bryce's job to secure the ball when he
Mm-hmm.
getting sacked or
Facts.
tackled for loss. That fumble was on nobody but him. 1000% full stop. You know,
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
two interceptions. I mean, one went off the hands of Rico Dowdle, and the other one was, you know, I think with going back and looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
I this is where feelings get hurt, especially when it comes to Excel.
Mm-hmm.
That was a poor route by him.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a poor route by him. You let the corner come back from 2-3 yards deep and get in front of you and potentially intercept the ball. Because I didn't initially see the play, so I thought maybe he came up from behind XL and hit him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't call pass interference, but he actually was in front of XL going for the ball. He was making a play for the ball, and in that case,
Mm-hmm.
that's not pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
Because he
Okay.
he when the ball is in the air, he has the defensive back has a right to the ball, just like the receiver. And if he was making a effort to get the ball, they're not going to call pass interference on that.
Yeah, I feel you. Now, I agree and slightly disagree with you as well. Now, Excel probably could have did a better job on that route, But when you look at the all 22 from the end zone view, I thought maybe the cornerback was behind XL and Bryce didn't see him. And when I played that clip and paused it, yeah, yeah, me and my newfound nearsightedness could have saw old buddy, running towards XL. And that's why I think everybody was like, that point, Bryce, just tuck the ball and run it. But you know, like I
Hmm.
said, it's
Yeah, now
yeah, yeah.
that's what I would have loved because it was 3rd and 2. I remember the down distance, and he had plenty of green grass in front of him. There was no
Mm-hmm.
reason. I mean, I'm just being extra technical when it comes to that because he did make the throw, but technically
Yeah.
there was no reason why he should have thrown that ball. He should have just scrambled and got the
Mm-hmm.
2 yards, 2 or 3 yards, and got the first down. That's what should have happened.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes his biggest flaw, situational awareness. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Situational
mm,
awareness. That sometimes gets right. Like I said with the interception last week. Hey, you staring this man down. You can see he is covered. Will Johnson had T Mac locked up on that play. Tuck the ball, take the sack. You know what I mean? You got a
yeah,
couple yards to get, tuck the ball, run it, try to get the first down. So yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And you know, and sometimes Vietnam, sometimes it does seem that way. He can't see the field. Now I don't know on some plays if it's his reads or whatnot, but he comes out of the gate and he stares one receiver down the entire play. Then you have other plays where it looks like he goes through his progressions a bit and he makes a play. But for the majority of it now, when he goes through his progressions, he makes more plays, in my opinion, from what I've seen on those particular passes where he's not staring down one receiver. Now I get a lot of times he's probably got a hot read. If the cornerback or the safety does this, this is where he's going. But some plays it looks like there is one route he's looking at, and he is waiting forever for that one person to get open. And mind you, sometimes you have people on the other side of the field who have gotten open before the play goes to shit. So, but I mean, we'll see. Like I said, hopefully that's not the case this weekend. I'm not weekend, but tomorrow, which is weekend. I'm sorry, but we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Mm.
Okay. So, Tony, let me ask you this question here: do you think it's possible for the Panthers to get off to a fast start tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Okay.
I think it's possible if they do exactly what I'm hoping they would do and come out with tempo on offense and catching the Falcons out off guard, not giving them time to substitute, not giving them time to communicate whatever the defensive plays is. If they put more motion, in the offense, to confuse the defense, stuff like that. Yeah, there's definitely things that Carolina can do to start fast. Let's just see if Dave Canales is going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Hey, and Mrs. Douglas, let me tell you, that's a great point right here. He says in the game against the Cardinals, Bryce acted as if he forgot he had legs. He failed to move the pocket the whole game. There's no way he was supposed to finish that game with only 2 yards rushing. And that's one thing that I saw
Facts.
Bryce do towards the end of last year that really gave me some hope going into this year is because he wasn't a stump in the pocket. You know what I mean? When the pocket was when he was getting pressure from one way, he would slide the other side. And then it's like, okay, cool. All right, bet it's go time now. I got to take off and I got to run because there were plays like the first half against Arizona when we got the field goal. Okay, so they're down there in the red zone in that one particular drive, right? So on the play before that, Bryce takes off running. Okay, and on that play, I think he took off running a bit too soon. All right, I think he would have had somebody. I think T Mac would have been open coming across the from the left side of the field in the end zone. I think Bryce should have stepped up in the pocket and held on to that a little bit longer to try and make a play. But then on the very next play, he rolls out to try and make that pass to the Hunter Renfro. Where if he would have stepped up in the pocket to his right, there was a big hole where he could have took off and ran there. And he had I think it was Chuba Hubbard out to his right. There was one defender with him, and there was XL in the corner of the end zone with another defender. Now on that play, Bryce had enough room where he possibly could have made a touchdown. Could have made a touchdown. But yeah, his
Mm-hmm.
pocket awareness was definitely better going towards the end of last season. And I think that is something that has kind of gone the wrong way for him in these first two games this year. All right. So, but we'll see what
Right.
happens. Let me see. CJ, that could also be because coach is telling him not to run because of the fumbles. It could be. It could be.
Yeah,
Or
I
or he
don't
could
think
just hold
so
on to the
because
ball.
that's yeah. I think they would tell him that more to say, "Well, don't run," when that is the part of his game that makes him who he is. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
um, at the end of the day, he just needs to better protect the ball, slide. If you think
Hmm.
he's going to be a sack, just get down. Whatever the case may be, protect the ball. It has nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with him running or not running. He has to do a better job of protecting the football. Period.
Yeah. Hey, Aries said Bryce refused the armband because he didn't use one in Alabama. Wright wanted him to have an armband to help with pre-snap calls. Reportedly, he refused it. Don't shoot the messenger. Man, you know
Hmm.
what? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, yeah. Because it was like the first game where he was out there and he tried to. It was like he raised his knee for Damian Lewis to tap Corbett to snap the ball, right? And then it's almost like he saw something and then he wanted to change the play, but it was too late. Corbett had already snapped the ball. You know what I mean? And I think the armband will help him too, as far as the hurry up drill and whatnot. If he's had something on his wrist where he can look and see the plays and whatnot. But we'll see. But I don't know if Canales, if that's something that he has asked Bryce to do yet, but I don't know. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll
I like
see.
I like what Palmetto says. The rollouts, the bootlegs, the zone reads. Where Bryce actually runs, he can be a threat, but protection of the ball is key. Facts. Get the ball
Yeah.
out quick as well.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and shout out to my man, Mr. Hunky Dory, for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Mr.
What's
Hunky
up,
Dory.
Mister
I appreciate you,
Hunkador?
big dog. Appreciate you. Let me tell you,
I
Mr. Hunky
ain't seen
Dory
him in a
is
while.
Hey, Mr. Hunky Dory is a fool, y'all. He is a fool. I talk to him all the time on X. And this guy right here, he's crazy, but good crazy though. He keep you laughing crazy. Appreciate you, Mr. Hunky Dory, and everybody who is now gifted a membership. Welcome to the front office. Okay. Again, I thank Mr. Hunky Dory for the gifted memberships. All right. I appreciate all the love and support, man. As always. As always.
Yes, sir.
Aries said Bryce looks like a newborn baby horse when he tries to take off. Not gonna lie.
Hey, you know what?
Ah.
What was so I think it was either I think it was last year where somebody had the video of Bryce when he's running and how his arms swing side to side.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
why do I know you probably don't know the answer to this, but why does he run like that? I've
I
never seen anybody male or female, I just never seen nobody run like that, dog.
I have no clue, but I wish they could teach it out of him somehow. But Chimera said CJ, is Aries clear in the Panthers organization or just lying? No, let me tell you, Aries she is with the 704
She
Charlotte
plugged
Bound
in.
show. Yeah, she is just plugged in. She from what I can tell, I've not personally met Claire yet. I hope to meet her and all the people over there one day, but she is just plugged in. She has her ear to the ground. When stuff happens, she knows it. She's very detailed in the things that she puts on screen over at the 704 Charlotte Bound show, and even when she comes
Mhm.
here in the comments. And I appreciate her for for the all hail the chair. I've been using that a lot lately in things. But no, but she is just she has her opinions, but she backs them up with a lot of facts. Okay. So she is just she's an informed person, but she has an opinion, and when she brings her opinion, she brings it with facts and figures as well too. Okay, so no, she's not just out here lying. Okay, if she says that she seen or heard something, I promise you she seen or heard it. Okay, but yeah, but
Hey, see,
yeah. Go ahead, Tony.
Claire knows her shit. I was just
Yeah,
saying what
exactly.
Kid 17.
Yeah. Oh, Kitty. Yeah. What's up, Miss
Yeah,
Kitty? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Claire knows her shit. Yes, she absolutely does. Yeah,
yeah.
she really does, and I appreciate it. He said, "Okay, thanks for the Claire." Yeah, yeah. No problem, man. No problem. Yeah. Let me see. It's SCJ. Maybe he hasn't asked him to wear one, but nothing is stopping Bryce from calling audibles or adjusting protections at the line. That is a fact.
I
That is
just
a fact.
I want to see them use more pre-snap motions. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
like don't just sit there and just don't give the defense nothing to think about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you can do to create that half a second or 1 second advantage for your offense, whether it's the receivers or the running back out the backfield, whatever the case may be, tight end up the seam, whatever the case may
Mm-hmm.
be, do something. You know what I'm saying?
Something.
Just do something. And Bryce works so much better when we are running two tight end sets or when we running heavy package. Last week in those sacks that we were getting, we
Mm-hmm.
were in 10 personnel. So there were only five offensive linemen.
Facts.
Five offensive
Facts.
linemen, and they got five down linemen, and then they rushing one of the linebackers or a linebacker in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
When we are in max protection, we are much better looking offense. It may not be the
Yeah.
prettiest, but it's effective. And I just wish they would go back to doing some of that.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. Let me see. Palmetto Money says, wonder why we haven't seen Jimmy Horn, David Moore, or 2-3 tight end sets more often as well. What Tony just talked about, 2-3 tight end sets. It'll be good to see those. David Moore. Now, mind you, I know I did ask y'all on the recap, or did anybody see David Moore? I went back and looked at the tape. David Moore was actually on the field, y'all. He was on the field for quite a
Oh, he
few plays
was?
late in the game. It's just that he was not targeted with anything. And it's crazy because like I did not even notice he was on the field, but he was. He absolutely was on the field. Jimmy Horn, from what I gathered from what Dave said in his press conference the other day, is basically, when and I'm just me kind of paraphrasing, when the time is right, Jimmy will get on the field. That's what I took from that. I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw it, Tony, or not. But from what I got,
No.
because like I said, you know how Dave is. He is he's going to try to answer your question, but he's going to kind of walk circles around the question a little bit. To it's like, okay, well, I'm trying to tell you how I really feel without telling you how I really feel because I'm trying to be professional about it, and I don't want nobody to say, "Oh my God, breaking news! Dave Canales said this joker ain't shit." You know what I mean? So, but
Right.
yeah,
Right.
from what I gather from that, Jimmy Horn will play when the time is right, according to Dave Canales and the coaching staff. That's what I gather from that. Yeah, yep. Ari said, and it may have been Mike K. Let me not specify since I'm not sure, but a beat writer reported the armband preference in his rookie year. I have to go back and try and find the article. I got you, Claire. I got you. I got you. All right. Okay. So for me, I do think the Panthers can get off to a fast start, but it's whether Dave is going to do what I think is necessary for that. Okay. If Dave Canales comes out with the same kind of game plan that he has in the past two games, I don't see it happening. If he goes out there and switches it up this week, and throw something different. Okay. You have 2 weeks of tape of this offense coming out and doing basically the exact same damn thing. Okay. I'm sure the
Yep.
Falcons have seen this tape. And if they go out there and they do this, let me tell you, Atlanta's going to be like, bet, we saw this, we saw this, we saw that. Okay, cool. Our game plan is still set. We still good. Let's go out here and execute. All right. And then
Mm-hmm.
especially if I'm Atlanta's defensive coordinator, I'm looking at them darn plays where they ran them stunts against the offensive line, and I'm sitting there like, their center is hurt, which I think K Mays will be fine. Okay. But then you got to remember Robert Hunt is hurt, and then you got Chandler Zavala playing. Let me tell you, I'll be stunting all day, like on that side of the ball, on that side of the offensive line, like big timers, number one stunner. You know what I mean? I'm telling you,
Yeah.
all day long. But like I said, Canales has to give them something that they're not ready for, something that they have not seen yet this year. Okay, you've gone out and you've put tape 2 games in a row that damn near looks the same. Okay, and that's in my opinion. And if I'm wrong, somebody let me know I'm wrong. Okay, but I have seen the same offense come out there in the field to start both of these games, and it hasn't amounted to much of nothing. So yeah,
Okay.
yep, but yeah, I think they can, but let me see. What's up, MDJ365? Said,
What's
I'm
up,
sure
MDJ?
ATL will, CJ. Yeah, I'm sure they will too. Sure they will too. Okay. All right. Let's get to the predictions here. Okay. Tony, what you got? Not
I
to
got to
laugh.
stand on I got to stand on what I said. I said I'm not picking the Panthers until they win one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to stick to it. So I see Atlanta um 27-21.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Extra protection for the rush this week. Yeah. T Green says 24-21 Panthers. I got you, T Green. Okay. So last week I said the same thing, Tony, and I went against it. I'm going back to what I said the previous week, and I'm going to take the Falcons 28-20-21, 28-20 as of right now.
Oh, one
Because
point difference. I didn't even know that. So I just
yeah.
want to say that
And
everybody.
and, and
I didn't know what he was gonna pick.
and I say this because there's a lot of uncertainty. Okay, will the defense play like this 2 games in a row? All right, will we see this same offense? The missus said, "Oh no, what's up, baby? How you doing?"
Hey,
um,
y'all be at the game tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be at the game
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be at the game
Okay.
tomorrow. But I just I haven't seen anything just yet to make me feel that and I know it's Atlanta, and I saw shout out to unnecessary bluntness. I saw Dunk's video on the other day when he was like, man, it's the Falcons. We always got something for the Falcons. You know what I mean? But even
Hmm.
still though, this I haven't seen anything consistent enough in these 2 games to make me 100% sure that I can get up here and be like, you know what? Yeah, we gonna win. We gonna win. I thought last week, well, this past week, that we will be able to get our shit together and be ready for Arizona. As a team, we got it together on defense. It didn't get together on offense until it was too late in the game. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I will be there, me and the missus. And yeah, like I said, I just, not to say that I don't have any faith, but I haven't seen anything that's gonna make me be like, yeah,
Hey,
we definitely gonna win.
tell your
Yeah,
hey, speak your truth, cuz. That's all it is. Speak your
yeah,
truth. We can
yeah.
be fans, which we are, to
Mm-hmm.
the core, which we are. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, they had to
It
give
is
us
what it is.
something they got to give us something to remain hopeful about. And so far, I haven't seen anything that suggests that you're going to go out here and dominate the Falcons all 4 quarters, 3 of the 4 quarters, and pull out a victory. And so until that time, yeah, I'm going to pick against.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Okay. All right. So let me hide this here. Let me go back to this. Okay. So for those of you that weren't here earlier, okay. Oh, let me see. Okay. So for those of you that weren't here earlier in the live, all right, I gave the tickets away over on Patreon, and our good buddy Will Robinson, aka Tip Drill Will, won the tickets. Okay, I called him last night. Will said, CJ, I appreciate it. He said, but you go ahead and bless those tickets to somebody else. All right. So this is what I'm going to do right now. And I turned on subscriber mode only because I want to make sure I give these tickets to somebody who is subscribed to the channel. Okay. Now, what I need y'all to do in the comments, I need y'all to if you want to enter to win the tickets, I need you to type in hashtag thank you will. Okay. Hashtag thank you will. And let me bring this up on the screen here.
Is that one L or two?
2 L's. Yep.
You know, some
Okay.
people can't spell, so I was trying to get some clarity for them.
Okay. There it is right there. Hashtag thank you will. Okay. Thank you, Will. And like I said, I do have 2 tickets, okay, for the Panthers game tomorrow still. If you win the tickets, make sure you send me an email at thearmchairgmcj@gmail.com. Okay. And that's THE, not THEE. Okay. Thearmchairgmcj@gmail.com. All right. Hey, and Alfonso, make sure it said thank you, Will. What you see on the screen here, make sure you type that whole thing out. Hashtag thank you, Will. Okay. But I'm gonna give a few minutes there for anybody who is who may have not typed it in and want a chance to win it here. Okay. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, Tone. That hurts me to my core. You know, to pick against
I
the Panthers.
know,
I swear it does. Hurts
I
me to
know,
my
it
core.
does.
I swear that. But like I said, I haven't seen anything yet this year. You've seen glimpses of it. Okay, you seen glimpses of the offense late in the game. All right. Now I would be a fool to sit here and be like, oh, okay, well, you know, that was the same defense that Arizona was running all game. Even though after those first 2 drives, the Panthers offensive line did get their stuff together. You saw some of the same concepts they were running in the first half that they ran in the second half, you know, as well.
Yeah,
Even in the last drive, I heard a lot of people saying, you know, the not Falcons, the Cardinals, you know, brought the heat again, and you know that's what happened on the last drive. They rushed more than 4 people one time on that last drive, and that was the first play of the last drive. You know what I mean?
right,
So we've seen,
right.
and it was just that those 4 down linemen were really just getting the offensive linemen, you know, just messing them up and getting to Bryce. Okay. You know, like I said, we've seen flashes of it. You know, the defense played a great game. I think they played a great game last week. Okay. But my thing is
Mm-hmm.
this, it's like, yeah, but you know, can we do it 2 games in a row? You know what I mean? I would be more inclined to pick them this week if we saw the stuff from our offense in game 1. Okay, I would be inclined more if we saw what we saw from the defense against the Cardinals against Jacksonville. You know what I mean? So, like I said,
Right.
it hurts me to the core to pick the Falcons. It really does. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get to come up here Monday and tell you I'm a dumbass for picking the Falcons, because I definitely will.
What's up,
Yeah, I
Poppy?
promise you. Pop in. What's going on with you, big dog? It said not the dirty bird. I can't root for a loss. They better ball out and bring it tomorrow. I hate the Falcons. I agree. I agree.
I
I
feel you.
agree.
I feel you on it.
hmm
I feel you on it.
Uh
I want us to win. Don't get me wrong. I want us to win, but
hmm
I need to see the things that I believe that will make us successful in winning. And until I see that, I'm just going to have to stick by my word.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. Let me tell you, perfectly summed up by Mr. Hunky Dory. We have an 8-cylinder motor, but the time is off. Plugs are dirty. Good engine, lots of power potential, but needs fine tuning. Oh God, that is good.
That's
What's up, Poppin'?
crazy.
Okay, we got 9 entries in. If anybody real quick, I'm leave it up for another few seconds here. Type hashtag thank you will in the comments if you want to be entered to win these tickets. Okay. And again, like I said, if you do get these tickets, send me an email at thearmchairgmcj@gmail.com. And let me put that in the comments. All right. Okay. All right. So let me see. Do y'all think our youth pastor QB going to play better or worse? I don't know. I honestly don't know, man. I'm praying for the best at this point. I don't know.
Don't know.
I do not know. All right.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead. Let me see. It said when y'all get a QB, y'all will be solid. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. All right. Let's go ahead here and do the draw. Okay. Pop in. Hey, congrats, big dog. All right, cool beans. Like I said, man, hey, send me an email and I will get those tickets to you. Hey, if I said, oh,
Popping coming at
yeah,
the
man,
last minute.
he sure did. He came in the final drive and actually scored a touchdown. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. All right, cool beans, man. Cool beans. And again, shout out to Will Robinson. As we call him, Tip Drill Will, man. Really appreciate you. Really, really do. All right. So, Tone, any last thoughts before we get out of here, man?
Um, hey, just hope that whoever's going to the game
Mhm.
tomorrow, hey, y'all be safe, man. Have fun. Give all your energy to rooting for our Panthers to bring home our first victory of the season, of the season, especially at home against the Musty Pigeons. You know what I'm saying? We have to do that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing better than beating the Musty Pigeons. Okay? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. Yo, that is hilarious. That is absolutely freaking hilarious.
Sorry, not sorry. With all the
Exactly.
disrespect.
Must be bitches. Okay, all right. Let me try and get it together here for a hot. All right, y'all. Hey, again, I thank everybody for joining us today, man. Good show. I love all the energy, all the comments. And let me say this. Many thanks to I forgot my man's name. Hold on, he was here a second ago. Doing
Mr.
stuff with
Hungry Dog.
CJ. Doing stuff with CJ, AT, the Falcons fans in the chat, Bucks, Rays, Bolts. I appreciate all the, like I said, I appreciate everybody in the chat, Panthers fans, non-Panthers fans. I thank y'all for the engagement. I thank y'all for the laughs, the jokes, the trash talk, all that good stuff. And what did Miss Hunky Dory say? Said, I gotta create a musty pigeon meme. I got you. I got you. But yeah, but thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to in my humble opinion, for the super chats that he gave today. Thank you to Mr. Hunky Dory for the 10 gifted memberships. As always, my brother, I appreciate you. Congratulations to Poppin for winning the tickets. Okay, like I said, shoot me an email and I will get those tickets to you ASAP. And everybody who joined, thank you to my big cuz, the Red Velvet Couch Scout Extraordinaire. Okay, thank you,
Oh,
thank
now.
you for joining me. Oh god. Oh god, let me tell you. Y'all missed the velvet joke earlier. Most of you did. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Blue velvet. Oh, okay. Hey. Blue velvet.
Well, you know, Nella, it be like that sometimes.
All right, but thank you everybody, and like I said, thank you to Big Cuz for joining me up here today. And as always, Panther Nation, I'm gonna leave y'all with 3 things. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. I'll see you.